Hi, my name's Steve Isaacs. I'm a teacher in Basking Ridge, New Jersey, USA, at William Annan Middle School. I also teach online for Virtual High School, now the VHS Collaborative, and I primarily teach video game design as well as digital storytelling. I teach a 7th grade cycle course, which is game design and digital storytelling, and a full semester 8th grade and high school elective in game design and development. I became a teacher purely by accident. While I was in college, I worked in group homes with adults with developmental disabilities, and I really enjoyed the job. While I was there, somebody had suggested getting certified to teach special education. It sounded like a good idea. I was a psychology major, which would have meant that I would have gotten out of college and had to think about what further education to pursue anyway. So I got certified and I began teaching special education in Montclair, New Jersey. I taught for 6 years in 2 different middle schools, a self-contained class, and that was a wonderful experience. Altogether, I've been teaching 21 years. After I left Montclair, or while I was still in Montclair, a friend and I and our wives opened a computer training and gaming center, and we did after-school classes, summer computer camps, and multiplayer gaming. This got me much more interested in the technology side. I was always interested in technology, and at that point, I knew that I wanted to move, fully into tech. And now I teach computer classes, like I said, primarily video game design and development. At this point, in a middle school to grades 7th and 8th students, and I also have been teaching an online high school course for children in grades presumably 9 through 12, but there are some middle school students that are able to take those courses as well. Yes, I absolutely have a particular interest in in teaching video game design and development. This came out of years of, as I was running the summer computer camps and after-school classes, I became familiar with some video game creation software, primarily GameMaker, and I took to it right away and found students to be, immediately engaged and enjoying the process. And the pedagogy involved in video game design and development is tremendous, in my opinion, in terms of teaching design-based learning, systems thinking, computational thinking, computer science concepts, writing skills, graphic design and animation skills, and as well as collaboration and so many other 21st century skills that lend so well to it. The process and teamwork and critical thinking, all of these elements are so ingrained in creating video games, troubleshooting. All of these different things are just so wonderful as teaching tools to show kids how to solve real problems in an engaging and fun manner. And it's been a wonderful experience for me because, as I've mentioned, the kids are so intrinsically motivated that they're going above and beyond by far what's taught in class, and taking this to such a great level on their own with my support, but and guidance. But I like to see them grow on their own, and that's been a really, really neat aspect of teaching game design. Of course, the kids are gamers quite often and just loving this opportunity to create their own games. I teach in a computer lab, so typically every student has their own computer to work with. I'm intrigued by some things like Raspberry Pi, as I've been reading recently about the possibilities of programming with that device. I've yet to see how we could really necessarily bring that into the classroom on a large scale. By the way, it's set up. I mean, it's a great, great, great device, and I'm very interested in looking into it further. We haven't used it here. iPads, we have an iPad cart, and I've downloaded some software like SketchNation and Codea for the iPads. We haven't used them too much in the game design class, so most everything we do is on PC, and the primary tool the kids are using in 7th grade, we use GameStar Mechanic quite a lot, which is a really great tool for putting students in the role of designer as they learn to design games and then design their own games as part of the process. GameMaker is another favorite of mine in terms of the scope, and it's so scalable. You could teach GameMaker to, with the drag and drop interface to kids in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade. In 8th grade, the kids do so much with it. There's a whole programming language, GameMaker language behind it, so that opens up a whole opportunity to teach programming using the same tool. We've also used some other tools like Storytelling Alice and more recently Looking Glass, which is the successor to Storytelling Alice, as well as Kodoo, and I've done some units with XNA and Visual C#, so the kids could program for the Xbox 360. I found at the level that we were at, compared to something like GameMaker, where they had much more immediate gratification in terms of seeing their designs come to life. XNA and Visual C# would be great for, I'm sure, an older group. Very powerful tool as well. This is a great question. Yes, there are definitely more male students than female students in my game design classes, but there is a lot that's going on in terms of trying to change that. Right now I'm a doctoral student at Boise State in the Ed Tech program, and one of the things I'm really looking at is female enrollment in game design and other courses like that, that are precursors to computer science and STEM-related fields, because even, as you get on into high school and college, there's a significant lack of enrollment in terms of female students in those courses. Alison Kelleher has done research using Storytelling Alice and now its successor, Looking Glass, to try to motivate and engage students in digital storytelling using a version of Alice geared towards middle school students in the hopes of encouraging that interest, which I think is very important. And on my end, one of the things in our program, it started as just an 8th grade elective for video game design and development, where the courses leading up to it, like the 6th and 7th grade computer cycle, were more application-based and didn't really give students an idea of what this 8th grade elective would involve. So more recently, the 7th grade elective has changed to include a unit in digital storytelling and a unit in game design using GameStar Mechanic. And the digital storytelling unit used to be Storytelling Alice, now a combination of some of that or Looking Glass or Scratch. And I've noticed already, I haven't had enough years of this, of the change in that 7th grade class, but there's been a slight increase in enrollment already into the 8th grade video game design and development course. And my hope through my research and practice coming up is that what I would like to do is offer more of a scalable curriculum starting at a younger age, and at least expose children with options in, to learn game design and development starting at an earlier age, as well as technical things like digital storytelling and all that that kind of focus on the same skill set, but also build that interest from a younger age. And when it comes to high school, it's certainly up to young women to make that decision. But in my opinion, if they had a little more to go on in terms of the experience, hopefully their decision would be based on experience, and at that point would be a matter of truly knowing whether or not this was for them, rather than reading a course, description in a course catalog with having no prior experience. So, kind of a long answer, but it's a very important topic, and one that I find very important, and something that I do, have a keen eye on, and something that I'm looking to do everything that I can do to help, again, at least encourage computer science and STEM related, fields and female involvement in them. Where do I see education in 10 years? Well, I definitely see a different environment, a learning environment that's different from what we see today. I truly hope to see less classrooms with rows of desks. I'd love to see more couches. I'd love to see a more exciting learning environment, including students bringing in more of their own devices and such. I think that's certainly will happen. I think there will be a lot more blended or hybrid learning opportunities where students will extend that learning outside of the school day and outside of the school walls. I think there's a lot of exciting things going on that will continue, and 10 years is pretty far off in terms of education, especially if we're talking educational technology and the possibilities. I'd like to see more use of virtual worlds in an effective manner. I think we have a long way to go there. I'd like to see more game-based learning, as I think that it's a very exciting field where great authentic learning and problem solving and problem-based opportunities exist. So I think it'll be very interesting to see what's happening in 10 years. The one word I would use to sum up education is the word spark. I believe as an educator, the best thing that I can do is excite students about learning, and about learning on their own and continuing to learn outside of class, and to want to learn and to not feel that they need a teacher by their side to continue that learning. That's when the best learning takes place, is when that intrinsic motivation kicks in, and I think if we can set that spark in motion, we've certainly done our job. Thank you.